Hello all, I am Prakash Vishwanath Dhokte from Jhulelal Institute of Technology Nagpur, presently working in Mechanical Engineering Department. Now we will continue with my topic alternate refrigerant for week 3 and week 4 video, and the we will see here the carbon emission calculation for alternate refrigerants. So in last week, last details of last week videos, that is week 1 and week 2 videos, you can see on slide. The YouTube link is available, number of number of views, and the content is available on this slide. Now the outcomes of video after watching all 4 videos, definitely student will understand the carbon emission effects. They will also compare the various alternatives refrigerant and which is the best. From that they will aware with eco-friendly refrigerants. The ISO norms and standards you can see on the screen, that ISO 14001 is for environmental management system, and ISO 5149 which applies in case of conversion of a system to another refrigerant, and similarly IEC 60335 and 1:2012, that is household and similar electrical appliances. Now we will see in week 3 and week 4 the various carbon emission and footprint calculation. Some gases are more effective than the others at making the planet warmer and thickening the Earth's blanket. For each greenhouse gas, GWP, that is global warming potential, has been calculated to reflect how long it remains in the atmosphere. The gases with higher GWP contribute more to warming the earth. Now you can see these gases in this chart. So if you observe minutely, the percentage of carbon dioxide means the carbon dioxide enters the atmosphere through burning fossil fuel like coal, natural gas or oil, solid waste, trees and other biological chemical, which is 81%. Methane, which is emitted during the production of transfer of coal, natural gas, again oil, and it is emitted, and result is result is like agriculture practices and decay of organic waste in solid waste. So the percentage of this methane is 10%. Likewise, the nitrous oxide N2O, which emitted during the agriculture and industrial activities combination of fossil fuel and solid waste, as well as during the treatment of wastewater. So the percentage of nitrous oxide is 7%. The fluorinated gases, that is, you can see here the 3% fluorinated gases you can see, which includes the means I can say that the hydrofluorocarbon or perfluorocarbon or nitrogen trifluorocarbon. These are the powerful greenhouse gases which are emitted from a variety of industrial processes, and means I can give the example like chlorofluorocarbon or hydrochlorofluorocarbon or halogens. These gases are typically emitted in a smaller quantities, but because they are potent for greenhouse gases, sometimes mostly they are referred to a high global warming potential gases. Now in next slide you can see the global greenhouse gas emission by economic sector. As you all know that the largest source of greenhouse gas emission from human activities is from burning fossil fuel, electricity, transportation, agricultural, forestry. So here you can see that the transportation sector generates the 14% of fuel, in which the green gas emission from transportation primarily from burning fossil fuel of our car, truck, ship, train, or you can say any automobile vehicles, which includes the which include in all transportation. Now if you observe the electricity, which is the largest percentage, that is approx 25%, the second means the largest share of greenhouse gas emission, you can say that from all electricity come from the burning fossil fuel, mostly coal, natural gas. Then you observe the industry. If you observe the industry, so the again it come from burning fossil fuel energy, as well as green gas emission from certain chemical reactions, you can say that. So to produce all this, there's 21% means in from industry, you can say the percentage is 21%. And if you observe the agricultural and forestry sector, so total is 24% greenhouse gas emission, in which the 10% is for agricultural and 14% is for land use. So total is 24%. So you can from agriculture, it come from the livestock such as cows, agricultural soils, rice production. Similarly for the land and forestry, if you say the net sink have absorbed more CO2 from atmosphere than they emit. So and the other that is the 10% of gas, that emission, greenhouse gas emission from home arise primarily fossil fuel burned or heat, and certain product that contain the greenhouse gases and handling the waste. Now again you if you study deeply, this is the chart which I get of 2014 global CO2 emission of fossil fuel. So the most the percentage, the largest percentage of China, you can see later on the 15% United States, others are 30%, and the less percentage of Japan, you can see for this emission, and India is having a 7% of emission. Now this graph is very important in this presentation, because you can see that how much billion ton means the worldwide emission of carbon emission. You can see here means the colors, various colors are showing the different countries. If you go through this graph, the USA, the Africa, the India, by various color, the each is representing how much CO2 emission is done by that country. So if you go for India, so it is a bit greater than the countries below it, but again the China is having highest carbon emission rate. So you can say that by this all the study, you cannot stop this global warming emission, gas emission. Still it is continual rising year by year. If we compare, we have compared this all the data. So the global greenhouse gas emission are still rising. So, what are the alternatives? Again, we come to our point. There are so many alternatives which we have seen in our week 1 and week 2 videos. So, by using that alternative, by using that alternative, we can substitute this food containers such as I means so again we will come to our alternate refrigerants which we have discussed in earlier slides. That is the eco-friendly refrigerants that like halocarbon, inorganic, and we have seen this percentage also. The main comparison of this all alternate refrigerant you can see over here, and we will finalize the eco-friendly friendly refrigerant like ammonia, CO2 by comparing it on its toxicity, flammability, efficiency, material, pressure, availability, GWP. If you have a maximum green tick, that will be eco-friendly refrigerants. So this is the comparison. If we use the domestic refrigerant, if you are using we are using R134 and R152A, so it can be replaced by this HC600A. And commercial refrigeration, as you know that in your AC or car AC, so we are using R134A, R404A, R407C. So again, the possibility of eco-friendly refrigerant, we can replace it by this all. Similarly, the cold storage and food processing, again R134A and R404A, R507A can be replaced by NH3 SCS CO2. Means these are the ammonia, carbon dioxide, these are the eco-friendly refrigerant. Similarly, for transportation refrigerant, centralized chiller, heat pump, unitary conditioner, we can replace this all by eco-friendly refrigerants. So I am concluding here, we as a human being, it's our responsibility and we have to start it from ourselves, from your house only, to become environment sustainable. You have to start using this eco-friendly refrigerant products in your home. Then and then only this we can think globally, we can stop global warming, and we can means due to this high GDP, this HFCs are not is group replacement solution. So with this slide, thank you very much for this